Hey, Shalom Akim. First things first, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Mekar Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahweh Shai, Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahweh Shai for this truth. Hey, Shalom Akim. First things first, I want to give all honor and praise to Yahweh, Bashem. Real quick. Yeah, this is just a quick lesson. I just wanted to go into because you see everything that's going on right now with just different situations in Israel, and then you got situations with these guys that come against the truth. They getting found out. You know, a lot of things are being put to the forefront. Okay, and we also want to give double honors to our apostle elders and you hopeful elect out there that's fighting, striving, maintaining, and keep the eyes on the goal, man. But back to the topic in place because simultaneously, as the kingdom is getting built up, things are going to take place on the earth. It's spiritually, physically, everything is going to be turned around, man. All right. Just like when you're seeing a scene in a movie when they shake off like an old ship or it's got sediment on it. It's been set in its waves, man. Just like the waves of this world is being changed, man. It's been set in the mire pretty much. All right. So I'm going to this word where the title of the video is self-examination. The flesh is wicked, man. Okay. You can never forget the flesh is wicked. You know, once you forget that fight, you know, brothers went into it where you say it's a self fight. You're gonna fight yourself all day. You know, just like you see what do boxers do? They shadow box. You know, that's a if you've ever done boxing before, shadow boxing is a great warm up to get you to get your pace right. You know, and to feel it, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing when you examine yourself. It's like a form of shadow boxing. You're not really you are fighting, but once you shadow box, it's just you're not, you know, you're feeling it out, man. Okay, just like you see now. Let me see here. Let me get this definition and see if it'll come up. All right, the word there is shadow box. Spar with an imaginary opponent as a form of training. Noun, a case with a protective, transparent front used to display jewelry. No, that's not it on that. But the main one is here, preparing. Let's see what Merriam says. Shadow box. It says to box with an imaginary opponent, especially as a form of training. So that opponent is yourself. Okay. So self-examination is like a form of shadow boxing because it is an opponent. It's actually one of your main opponents. But you're not going to the world and be like, man, you're fighting the world constantly. Once you self to strict the flesh, man, to put the flesh on the back burner and let the spirit come to the forefront. Okay. And we see all types of examples where fasting brought, you know, men closer to the spiritual aspect, you know, but now what we have to do is that self-examination. And so if we go to the word examination, right? The word there is examination from Latin examito. Okay. It says testing one's conscience by a standard. So examination means what? Testing one's consciousness, your conscious, your mind, man. And if we go into the etymology of the word, it says late 14th century act of testing or judging, judicial inquiry. That's why it says a man has to rule his own mind, man. You have to try to rule this flesh as much as you can. Okay. But you're judging, you're testing, an act of testing, man. So self-examination is testing yourself. You know, a counselor told me one day or one time, way back. It's been a long time, but they said to know yourself is to know is the greatest asset is to know yourself. If you can know when you're mad, you can know when you're falling. You can feel yourself. You can be like, okay, well, I'm not doing what I need to be doing, or you can be doing more. You got to know your weaknesses and your strengths, man. And you play to those, man. And if you play to that, then your weaknesses can be made into a strength. Okay, you just got to know. If you don't know what you're good at, what you're not, you're gonna be tossed to and fro, man. All right. But it says, Old English exmekion from Latin exmatinium, noun and action or part particle stem of examiner, to weigh. That's why it says it's weighed in the balance, man. Things are weighed in the balance. What's weighed right now is us, man. Okay, we have to go to that scale, and we all have to make weight. Just like for a fight, you got to make your weight, or you can't fight, man. No matter how long you've been training, no matter what you've been doing, if you didn't worry about that weight, that's why you see, especially back to boxing, man. Boxing is a great example of that, because this is likened unto that fight, but you got to make weight, man. You got to train, and then what you got to do, you got to examine yourself. You got to hit the scale to make sure that your weight is getting cut down enough that you know you can make the fight, man. If you're dropping weight or if you're putting on weight, you got to examine yourself. You got to go on the scale. Okay. So it's the same thing with boxing, same thing with here. We got to make weight. So you always got to examine yourselves as you go along. It's just not at the end, because what if the weight, you didn't examine it and know what you, if you needed more or needed less. Okay. So you have to measure yourself, which is, that's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, man, because it says what? You have to measure yourself to make sure you're going to make that weight. So that's that self-examination along with your walk, man. Not saying, damn, I'm wicked, I got to get, no, it's just examine yourself, man. Take it as a good thing, man. You know, always take it as a good thing, because something that you can get better on or stronger on, to see, hey, oh, I can be doing this better. You know what I'm saying? And doing that. Give me 1 second. Let me find the scripture. Let's see. Lock y'all in 1 second. All right, this is Second Ezra. There's a few there's a few precepts, but I start with this one. This is Second Ezra 3 in verse 34. It says, "Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance," because our wickedness as a nation was weighed to the Most High, man. That's why we were found wanting. That's why we were put into the position that we're in now, because we were weighed, we were examined. Okay, just like you get the word examination means to what? To weigh. Okay, to ponder, to consider. That's why it says the Lord came in the garden. The Lord's voice was heard in the cool of the day, man. Because that, an apostle broke that down. That's going into the prophets, but that prophets are examinations, man. That's an examination sign that the Lord is examining the nation, man, when he sets up the prophets. Okay, when the prophets, where ain't no prophets or no seers, then that's the Most High ain't dealing with Jake like that. Once the prophets and the seers are there, then you're having ability. There's a communication. There's a lifeline to the Most High, man, through those men. Okay, and it says, "Weigh down therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there's also that dwell in the world," because the other nations, they're going to have to go on that scale too, man. They all got to go on that scale. So we all got to get weighed, but our righteousness is going to overweigh theirs, man. It says, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. So you ain't gonna, Yahweh Shemiah Shah's name is not gonna be found anywhere else but in the children of Israel, which are the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. They're gonna be the ones that are able to believe on this truth the way that it needs to be believed upon. Right now, people believe on the Bible as for a gimmick or money or some kind of it's herd mentality. They feel like they're supposed to go to church and believe in this mystical being, but they don't know him, man. They don't know his name. They don't know what he's about. They don't have the his requirements. If a job tells you that they require steel toe boots and eye protection and ear protection, and you come in there talking about, hey, yeah, I'm here to work. You got shorts on, open toe sandals, and in a tank top. You're not prepared, man. You don't know the qualifications of that job, man. Okay, it's been written down. You got the paperwork. You didn't follow that directions, man. So that's the same thing with this. They don't know what the qualifications of this truth is, man. Not just being an Israelite. There's requirements that come with that, man. But it's hard to do it and when we're in captivity. But those requirements are going to be what intensify when we are delivered. We're going to be made perfect. We don't have to worry about going off and doing this and doing that. That's why we rehearsing it now. That's why we trying now. Rehearsals you can mess up. That's the difference between an actual performance and a rehearsal. A rehearsal, you're allowed lax. You want to get it as close as possible, but really, there's room for mishap. If something goes wrong, that's why you're practicing. But we're getting ready to come to the full show where we're going to be made perfect in Yahweh Shemiah spirit, man. And we're not going to go off. We're not going to wonder about. We're not going to fight with the flesh. We're not going to go back and forth with the flesh, man. Jake got to feel that, man. You know, you got to feel that. Look, this flesh it weighs on you, man. It doesn't want you to succeed. Okay, it loves the world, just like the people in the world have a herd mentality. So they want to go with the herd. The flesh wants to go. It's like a beast, man. It's like a beast that's separated. That's why all these nations are under Esau's grip, but they doing everything that Esau wants them to do, man. That's why Moab, he wearing suits and talking in full English, and because like the apostle brings out avionics, the language for avionics is what? English. So you got to speak English to be in avionics. So you have to conform to the ways of Esau to live in his. That's how you know it's his world. It's his rulership because you got to conform to him. We don't have to speak Cantonese. You don't see us speaking no other languages besides what the language that the ruler is in now, right now, man. Just like in the time of the Phoenicians, man. Okay, that's why you get the Phoenician language, which is just Hebrew. It's the Paleo Hebrew. But if you see it, the Phoenicians, they made that language because they were seafaring. It was easier to communicate in Paleo Hebrew as a modern language that communicate, which was the spirit anyway. Okay, which was the spirit that was moving on the Phoenicians to go ahead and because if you look up the history, the Phoenicians they were magnifying their alphabet because they would have to trade with these other nations around the known world, man. They were because that goes into what Hiram Abiff and his navy in the time of Solomon. So they traded back and forth, man. They got iron ore over here in America, different golds, exotic animals, all these different things. Those were bought over, but trade, the Phoenicians, the Canaanites, they would trade with these other nations. Okay, they would trade and have to have a way to communicate with what price. You know what it say? Money talks. When it comes down to doing business, you got to have a clear understanding. You got to know what I'm giving you for a set price. There can't be no schisms, man, because that's bad business. Okay, that's why the Phoenician they pushed that language where it was known, man. Okay, let me go ahead and pull this up. 1 second. Let me get this other precept. This is 1 second. Let me see here. 42 and 4. Let me start at 3. No, let's sit on that. Let's sit on that. We can jump into the blue letter. So yeah, we got the word examination where it says to weigh. So you got to weigh yourself, man. Okay, and if you're in a fight, which is this the greatest fight you can be in, you got to continue to make weight, man. You can't drop too low, or you can't go too high. You can't do too much. You can't try to do too much out of your league. and you can't drop below weight, man. Okay, and that's the part that's going through, and weighing yourself should be a positive thing, man, because that shows you, hey, what I need to do. If I got a workload, it's called running reports. Okay, if I got a workload and I run reports, I'm seeing where everybody else is at throughout the day, throughout the month. If we need to make projected numbers, I got to run those reports and make sure those numbers are matching up to what we're supposed to see at the end of the day or see at the end of the month. So the same thing with this, man. We got to run hey, there's spiritual reports being ran, man. You know, that's why I said serve the Lord with fear and trembling, man. This is a government body that's being built up. It's more intensive than the world you see today. Jake don't gotta worry, man. 2/3 ain't worried. They out here getting they smoking up L's and committing adultery and pouring up. You know what I'm saying? That their mind's not concentrated on anything. They're just living the life right now, man, because there is no transition for them. Once Esau goes down, they're going down too. That's it. But what's going to happen to the elect? The elect is getting geared for what's going to happen post destruction. The 144,000 and 1/3 are going to be prepared for post destruction. They're going to prepare for a simpler way of life, and you know the world ain't going to be as it is now, man. Okay, and let's start with this is 2 Corinthians. We'll go here. 2 Corinthians 13. Start at 4. 2 Corinthians 13:4, and it says, for though he was crucified through weakness. The point's in 5. And it says, for though he was crucified through weakness, yet he liveth by the power, yet he liveth by the power of Yahweh, because Yahweh raised Yahushua up, man. So that's the same thing with us, man. The Most High is able to raise us from the dead, because we're in a dead state of mind. You read Revelations, what it says, Revelations 11, it says their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city. So we're dead, man. Okay, we were dead men. Now the Lord was able to bring us out of the grave, that dead state, just like he's able to bring you out of the dead state physically, man. Okay, it says, for we also are weak in him. It says, for we also are weak in him, but we shall live with him by the power of Yahweh toward you. See, so we living with Yahushua. That's why it says I should send a comforter to you, man. And that's a mentality change, because the comforter comforts your mentality. So once your mentality is comfort, you got confidence. That's why it says I've not given you the spirit of fear, but of power. So once you believe it deeply and it resonates with you, then your thought patterns go into that also, and you believe, man. Faith, man. Faith is a strong thing, man. Verse 5, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove yourselves. It says prove your own selves, which means to try. You try and you prove something. If you got to prove a horse, that means you got to go and try that horse out to see what the horse is about. So it's the same thing with this thing, man. You got to prove yourself. We went through this many a time, so I just wanted to set the tone with the scripture. But it says, prove your own selves. Know ye not. It says, know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua Mashiach is in you, except ye be a reprobate. That means a lack of understanding, man. Your mind is not functioning the way it needs to be functioning. So you're reprobate. That's what a lot of these people out in the world that come against, especially the ones that come against this truth, they super reprobate because they think it's us, man. We didn't wake ourselves up. We didn't come to the truth and establish camps. That's the Most High giveth the increase. So it's you giving us too much power, man. Those guys that come out and talk to us like you bewitching people. No, man. No, you can't, man. It says you can't snatch one out of Yahweh's hands, man. So how much more taken out of this truth? You can't do it. Can't do it, man. Unless the Lord wants you to strive to go up that and go to the church or one of these other doctrines out here in the world, then hey, you're getting caught up. This is Lamentations 3:40. It says, let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. See? Let us go and try our ways. Let us prove ourselves, man. Let us examine ourselves. Man, our nation has been the most up and down nation ever, man. You know, we lose We win, we go back to the Most High, we win for a little bit, we lose. You know, it's back and forth, man. So we come into the time where the Lord said, look, now He's just gonna make it perfect. So we don't have to worry about going off again and never and having to be dispersed out and sent to the four corners of the wind or have a nation come in and take out. Man, that's not gonna happen anymore. The Most High is gonna He's gonna put a end to that. All right, and it says, let me start at 38. It says, out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil. And it says, out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. Wherefore doth a living man complain? A man for the punishment of his sins. Goodness gracious. It says, let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. Let us lift up our hearts, your mind. When it says lift up your heart, that means you have to consider the Most High, man. When you lift up your heart, you're lifting up a praise to the Most High, man. It says, let us lift up our hearts with our hands unto the Most High in the heavens. When it says, we have transgressed and have rebelled, thou hast not pardoned. It says, thou hast covered with. That's it on that. Because the Most High jacked us up. The Most High was jacking us up because of our sins, man. So now we coming back today. That's why I said, look, we're trying ourselves as a nation. The hopeful elect is because 2/3 don't care. They don't have the spirit to care. So they ain't going to get it. It says, let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. Let us lift up our hearts with our hands unto the Most High, power of heaven, unto the Most High in heaven, okay, in the heavens. So the Lord we're lifting up our hands and we're giving up and say, look, we need you, man. Okay, get this next precept. You know, brothers have went through this all the way, but I mean, the Spirit was just like, hey, you know, go into it. This is let's go Galatians 6:3. This is Galatians 6 and verse 3, and it says, himself to be of something, to be something. When he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. So we're not. That's why it says we walk this road one at a time, man. Okay, so if you make it, this is the individual thing. Okay, it's sort of like youth meetings or group meetings. When you have a group interview, it's a group interview, but they're interviewing the individuals at the same time because they're seeing if you can ask the right questions, do the right things to show that you want the job more than everybody else in the room, man. Okay, and they might choose. You might have a room full of 10 people. They might only need 4. You don't know how many people they're looking for, but you in a room full of 10 people. How are you going to stand out, man? What's going to make you the fit for that position, man? Okay, so this is the type of thing we in. It's a group, but it's the individual interviews at the same time, man. All right, that's how the Lord set it up, which is beautiful, man. But we in the time where the Lord has set up the prophets, the truth. They can't say they didn't know. Anybody said they didn't know who they was. I mean, man, you know how many people I meet throughout the day that talk about at least some kind of this, that, which is cool. You know, that's them. That's Ezekiel 37, where it says they stood up on their feet. So Jake is waking up, but Jake ain't waking up to the fullness of who they are, man. You know, they're coming almost there, but it ain't quite there yet. Hey, Shalom to you, Akim out there. Yabashim Yashar Khan. Let's say, yep, exactly. You play your position, man. Just like the during the time when the pitcher, he got to go up there too, and he got to hit the bat. He ain't just pitching. He got to go and hit that bat too. You know, everybody positions. You got to go through the same thing. You got to go through that plate, man. We all have to go through the spiritual plate, man. Okay, we all have to go and take the shot and take the swing. You got to take the swing, man. And the thing about it, you got to pick up the bat. You got to swing. So don't. Ain't nothing worse than somebody getting struck out and they never even tried it, man. You just get struck out straight. You don't even move your back. That means the ball was so fast you couldn't even catch it, man. That's embarrassing, man. You watch baseball, if somebody just gets struck out three strikes and you ain't even swing, oh man, that means you weren't even prepared, man. You know. So hey, just keep swinging, keep fighting. Just let me finish this out real quick. One more precept. So it's not a bad thing to weigh yourself, man. Just to make sure you on weight. That's it. Make sure you on weight. Don't and your thoughts got to be it's got to be pure, man. The closer we get to this time, our thoughts got to be more in check. You know, that's why Jake say they want power, man. But hey, man, power's coming to us in different ways, man. Our mentality has to be on a type of level. That's why we're being built up now, man. This is Psalms 139 and 1, and it says, I'll start it too. Thou knowest my down. It says, Thou knowest my down sitting and my uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. The Lord knows you, man. The Lord knows you more than you know yourself, man. He knows you know your thoughts and what goes through, and that's just the Most High knowing you, man. He says he understand it. Let's look up that word understand it. What is it talking about when it says he understand it? That means he's. I ain't gonna jump it. I ain't gonna. The word there is bayan, bayan. Okay, and it says to discern, understand, consider, to perceive, discern, understand, know with the mind, to observe, mark, give heed to, distinguish, consider, to have discernment, insight, understanding. So Lord understands your thoughts, man, from afar off. Because he's really intelligent. Okay. The Lord, the Most High is the real intelligent one, man. We'll say you can't crook the crook, man. You can't bamboozle the bamboozler. The Most High is the original bamboozler, man. That's that. You can't do nothing with it. Everything you think you're doing, hey man, seen it a million times. Okay. It says, Thou knowest my down sittings and my uprising. Thou understand my thoughts afar off. Thou compassest my path and my laying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. So the Lord knows you, man. As David was saying it. David said, Look, man, the Most High knows me. He knows my thoughts. That's how it says the Most High answers you secretly, or He'll answer you openly. You go and pray. You just pray, man. You don't have to. You just say the water and you pray. But then what? What's going to happen? The Most High rewards you open. He knows what you need. He knows your deepest that. What's going to make you happy, man? He knows that. He can put it on your spirit to make what you so-called think you should be happy. But He's the one saying, look, you're going to be happy off this, man. So it's fully controlled, and the Most High is live and in charge, man. It's a beautiful thing. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I don't want to go on too long, but brothers have touched this issue many a times. They've went into it. They've dived into it. This is just a one of those, hey, self-examination ain't wicked, man. And it shouldn't be a burden, man. Always examine, man. Always to make sure your weight is right, your spiritual weight, okay? Because we getting ready to go that ring, man. Jacob's trouble, these times that are coming up, that's that's when it's go. There ain't gonna be no more preparation. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there, man. And Lord willing, keep the spirit on us to make it through it with a spiritual calmness, man. We gonna be shook up, but hey, as long as we know the Most High got us, man. So Lord willing, like I said, this is edifying. I want to give all praise and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Karkadash, Barakathu Yahweh, Barakathu Yahushai, Barakathu Yahweh, Barakathu Yahushai, Barakathu Yahweh, Barakathu Yahushai, Ba'ashem Karkadash. Hey, you open the elect out there, like always, man, keep faith. It's yours, man. Hold on to it. Shalom.